Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for this Thursday, Thanksgiving evening. Thursday, November 28th, 2013. Okay, not live, but tape for the new Impact Zone, Orlando, Florida. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving today. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope everyone had a great one. Of course, especially here in Detroit. Lions won their game. I'm so happy they won. First time that Detroiters can really have a happy Thanksgiving. The Lions destroying the Packers despite the early turnovers. But tonight's Impact, disappointed. Not a lot of action tonight. 4 matches. One that was a squash. Actually, we had one that was like a short match. Plus, main event, kind of a screwy end. I didn't like the ending of the main event tonight. I didn't like it at all. Main event should have been a whole lot better, and it wasn't. But at least next week, hopefully we'll make up for it. But at least it was just. I hope there's more action next week. I hope they make it up. It was just not a good. It was an entertaining Impact. It was just not a lot of action tonight. But some last segments tonight. And speaking of segments, we kicked off with one. Dixie Carter coming out telling all the winners of tonight's matches will be involved in some turkey dinner with her new assistant, her new chief of staff, as she calls him, Mr. Rockstar Spud, of course, British guy who is, of course, won the British boot camp. We saw him on the British Impacts earlier this month. Not this month, but earlier this year. So we saw him a little bit wrestle, and now he's going to be promoted to the main roster with this. We see a lot of people from the boot camp. Hannah Blossom was on Gail Kim's Open Challenge, which didn't take place this week. Probably next week it will. But we saw her on the challenge 2 weeks ago, and now we saw Rockstar Spud. So a lot of British boot camp people being on the show. And like I said, next week, I hope there's a lot more action. Like Toby Keith always said, hope there's a little less talk and a lot more action next week. And it will be more action. We have the semifinals. Both semifinal matches of the TNA title tournament will take place next week. The Real Dixie was spun in advance. Kurt Angle takes on Magnus in a last man standing match. Rude and Hardy in a tables match. And I predict that the finals will take place at Final Resolution. They just announced that for December 19th. And also, AJ Styles has been given 1 week to get back Dixie's belt. But I think AJ may appear at Final Resolution, since he may have to get the belt back next week to Dixie, because Dixie gave him the ultimate. We don't have to see another AJ promoting the championship, because he's not really fired. It's like a storyline thing. So he may come back next week. Or may just keep the belt for himself. Maybe show up at Final Resolution to face the real champ, the new champ, who gets crowned in the final. That's what we think. The final will take place at Final Resolution, and AJ will be there. While we had that, of course, we had, Dixie Carter bringing out her lovely nephew, as she calls him. Of course, EC3, Ethan Carter III, saying that, well, I'm going to step up my competition tonight. I got another TNA legend coming back. Well, I knew it was going to be someone stupid coming back for at least one night. We saw Shark Boy last week. What kind of TNA personnel would he squash this week? Curry Man. I thought Devine, because he said he threw him in, but it was Curry Man. Daniels, I'm ashamed of you, buddy. Daniels, of course, if you don't know by now, Daniels is, it has been, Curry Man. Do you see the eyes? He wears a black wig. I told a lot of my friends that Curry Man's Daniels, and everyone's like, he has hair. It's a wig! But you can tell by the eyes. They really had a camera on the eyes. You can really tell it was freaking Daniels. I've said that for years. But I can't believe Daniels would allow himself to, at least he wasn't Daniels. Some people like me knows Daniels as Curry Man. Some people don't. But Daniels, I'm just embarrassed by the fact he would allow himself to wear this outfit and get squashed by EC3. Despite Curry Man's okay offense, we all know the eventual finish. The 1%er EC3 getting the victory. A lot of squashes tonight. The first 2 matches were squashes. After the first 3, like I said, the endings were just, especially main event, it was not a lot of action tonight. By the time the main event ended, it was like 25 minutes left of the show. Come on, guys. WWE's supposed to go off early. Not you guys. WWE's a pay-per-view, not a TV show on regular TV. So, I just wish there was a lot more action tonight. And not that much squashes. The first 2 matches were squashes. Then the third match was like a 30-second match. And the main event I just didn't like the finish. So, After CDC3 continuous undefeated streak until he finally gets some balls to finally face some competition. I know, like I said, I've said this every week. Sound like a broken record. I know they're trying to warm him up, but come on. We've seen this for a month. Squashy people. He needs to face bigger competition. I know he'll lose that way, but still, I think they're withholding the fact to let him lose. I think they want to build up this undefeated streak, then lose eventually. Which I know he will. To somebody big. If he has the balls to compete against the big boys. Now, our next matchup with, like I said, Gail Kim now having an open challenge this week. It was time for security. Her insurance policy, should I say, Lady Tappa to have the spotlight. As Lady Tappa took on Velvet Sky. Now, Velvet Sky used her fast movements, of course, stick and move. You know, her fast kicks and stuff. She did try to sweep off, tap over feet with her fast movements, a lot of nasty kicks. But Lady Tappa's strength was her advantage to begin the match, and she really used that advantage to end the match this evening. So, indeed, Tappa defeated Miss Velvet with some nasty moves, or a little finish, like Samoan drop type finish, driver move in the big finish for a Lady. I'd like to see Velvet back. I haven't seen Velvet in a while. Since he's been allegedly dating Chris Sabin. I think they're going to break up soon, storyline-wise. Sabin's treating her like crap because Sabin's now this heel guy, and he's like heel ego guy. So I think they'll break up eventually. So there you go with that scenario. Nice to see Miss Tappa. Nice to see Velvet on there, but it was an okay match. It was not that much of a squash. It wasn't like decisive like the first match, but still Tappa destroying Velvet. Despite, I'll give Velvet credit for standing on her own. I know Velvet's felt the wrath of Lady Tappa before, when she was in that number one contenders match that Lady Tappa and Gail interrupted. Got Gaga on a break because the Gaga special was on too. Channel stuff like that, as well as the Steelers Ravens game as well. So a lot of channel stuff tonight on this Thanksgiving night. Because that was the match when Gail and Tappa interrupted. That's what started the open challenge because Gail was sick of the CMO competition. So Velvet felt the wrath before, now she felt the wrath of Tappa in the match tonight. So there you go. Now on to our third matchup. I'm talking about EC3 not having any balls to face any real competition. Squashy people. Well, few of the men he's been squashy lately. Thank God they weren't wrestling here, but they're wrestling the romance instead. We're vibing the Tookie Bowl. Eric Young's been like the official ambassador, or as he calls it, the High Chandler. The Chandler of the Tookie Bowl. Aside of the romance, Jesse and Robbie E. with the new DJ, the returning Zima Ion. DJ Zima Ion. I'm DJ Zagatang, and I'm a real disc jockey, not Zima. Zima plays a disc jockey. I'm the real thing. Because I DJ gigs. Real gigs. Zima use that noise like, you know, like the big alarm. So they took on this Tookie Bowl tag team match. Two men, like I said, EC3's been squashing. Phil Dunham and Dewey Barnes, or as Taz calls them, the Nerds. Taz is still heel, despite the fact that Ace and H broke up. I'll get to their food war in a moment. That was kind of funny, though. Last segment tonight, complain about more segments than matches. And like I said, the first two matches were squashes. This match was 10 seconds. You know, this wasn't even a match. It was a fucking segment. You know, Phil Dunham and Dewey Barnes try to go white act the bromance right off the bat. But then a double team move, and it was like gone. It was done faster than a Kim Kardashian one night stand. You know what I mean? It was like quick, quicker than Ethan Carter's T-Nex. You know, I'm trying to find a good joke about this. It was like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? And Dewey and Phil, since losing that quick matchup, had to wear the Tookie suits because of course the loser of the Tookie Bowl has to wear the Tookie suits. And ODB and Eric Young had them, and Phil Dunham and Dewey Barnes weren't actually embarrassed. They embraced it, especially when the bromance were telling him, "Dance like Tookies, Gaga, Gaga." He was saying Gaga, another Gaga reference. Like Phil Robbie was like Gaga. I was like, come on. And then they embraced it. They were dancing. They were like hesitant to dance. Phil and Dewey was, and they just embraced it. Towards the end, and the Bowman was like, "It's supposed to make you embarrassed, not embrace it." So there you go with that. Now on to our next segment, which was a funeral, the funeral for Ace and Eights. This was kind of funny. And there were some jokes in it. I didn't think they were going to actually have the balls to do these jokes, but they did. They had like some funeral parlor, and Anderson came out in a coffin saying I was trapped, like I was trapped in that coffin, trapped in Ace and Eights for 18 months. I think he was there for a while, and he was there. It was like a face funeral. All the faces were there yet. You had Magnus there, Joe there, Angle there, many of the Mafia members specifically, minus Sting, of course. I didn't see Sting there. Mike Tenay was there, Eric Young was there. They all had comedic things to say. Mike Tenay had Taz's Cuddy put in there. Eric Young gave him the turkey suit. Angle had something, I forgot what it was. I think Anderson had the bullhammer. And the funniest part of this was Samoa Joe's part when he had a case of beers. And he was going to put them, because Ace and Ace like drinking beer, and he didn't put them away. He didn't want them to waste, so he gave a beer to everybody. And he was about to give a beer to Kurt Angle, and he signed it away. And I didn't think they were going to do that kind of joke on Kurt Angle, because of course Kurt Angle, DUI, he went to rehab. So to see him actually do that, like tease Kurt Angle with the beer, and here Angle, oh, I forgot, you went to rehab. They went there. Oh, they went. Oh no, they didn't. I didn't think they were gonna pull that take the beer away from Kurt Angle joke that we have joke on Angle. It was like, wow, they really went there. TV-14, that's what happens. With teenage TV-14, not WWE TV PG, that's what happens. It's kind of a funny segment to see Ace and H finally go bye-bye. But the fun stopped when Blue Whale crashed the party. I like the Motley Crue hoodie. I'm a Motley Crue fan, so I liked the fact that Blue Whale was wearing a Motley Crue hoodie from their good Vegas stint. And he's like, Anderson, I'll never forgive you for ruining my club. Death, they say death is the final nail. I call death as a reawakening. I think Bully Ray is going to be gunning for revenge on Anderson. Their feud, Ace and H is done, but I think Bully Ray and Anderson's feud is far from over. I smell combination, probably, at Final Resolution. These two ain't done yet. Bully Ray probably wants to, get revenge on Anderson for him being the one that ruined Ace and H and made the club disband. Well, Book was the one that tossed the hammer. Another funny spot when I told you Mike buried Taz's jacket and Brooks' panties were in there for whatever reason, and Mike was going to put the panties in the casket, but he kept them for himself. That was a funny scene. Not much to laugh about in the night's impact, but still, that segment was kind of funny. Now on to our main event, which I thought was going to be a great main event. 8-man elimination match, kind of a Survivor Series match. Now you know why Survivor Series matches suck sometimes, because it's silly endings like this. Not all Survivor Series matches end like this, but still, should have been a better matchup. We had Team Angle, comprising of Team Angle captain Kurt Angle, teaming up with Gunner and James Storm to have no problems after Gunner cost Storm the match against Bobby Roode last week, throwing the towel in during the last man standing match. I told you about that ending sucked too in the Texas Death Match. And also Magnus, the man who's going to be taking on Angle in the semifinals next week. Taking on Team Roode, which comprised of his fellow members of Ego, Kaz and Daniels. Yes, Daniels wrestled twice tonight. As Curry Man and as himself. Of course, teaming up with Chris Sabin. Now, if you saw my Survivor Series review, of course, we saw what happened in the first match of Survivor Series. It was like, what, 2? It was the Mysterio, Usos, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, a Real Americans and Shield match. I mentioned this match because this match started out the same way as the first match of Survivor Series. It was 5-on-2. Ended up being 4-on-1 early in this elimination match. And that's why I didn't like the ending of this. Storm got eliminated quickly, being the first one after delivering the super kick to Kaz. Sabin, Legal Man, took advantage of Storm being distracted from a super kick on Kaz, rolled up Storm, and 1-2-3 victory, getting out Storm. First eliminated early. He was upset at Gunner for Gunner not breaking up the count. Because like I said, Gunner and Storm have their problems. One of them still turned heel. And once again, possible final resolution match, Gunner and Storm if they break up, which could be likely. Tension's there. And you even saw that after the matchup, Storm and Gunner, despite them coming out for the last segment, crashing the winner's party. They're like, crashing the turkey party, what to say. They're like, different about their future. Future of James Storm or future of the team. Well, they came out together, but still. We'll see what the future holds for them eventually. Then Gunner got up quickly, despite trying to go for the torture rack. Referee got distracted. And Kaz and Daniels did a high-low double team when the referee got distracted by Saban and Wood. And then Gunner got out quickly. Like I said, quickly. It was 4-2 after Gunner and Storm got out. Then Vegas came in, trying to revitalize the team. Like I said, it was 5-2 at the Survivor Series match between Usos and Goldust and Rey Mysterio against the Shield. And Shield lasted long, but not in this case. Magnus did a big move off the top rope, and he tweaked his knee. Storyline injury or not, he tweaked his knee. He was out for the rest of the matchup. So it was 4-1. I was like, come on, guys. All three guys got out quickly. I know you're building that Storm. I know you're trying to build up the Wood Angle feud, but come on. It should have just been one-on-one. That's what I was hoping. That's what I was thinking. Like it was going to end up being a one-on-one, Wood and Angle. You know what I mean? And from this point on, I was just disappointed about the way they were limiting people left and right. The way it was already 4-1 already. I was looking at the cards like 10-20. Looking at Angle wrestle around for 20 minutes with these guys. Come on. Or 40 minutes or whatever. And Angle was suplexing everybody to hell. Angle knew he was a man without a team at that point. He knew he was up against the wall. He was a lonely man on a ship. And he was suplexing everybody. Triple suplexes to Daniels and Kaz and trying to do it on Wood. He had an ankle lock at one point. At least trying to ankle lock. And even had a winning pin, but of course referee got distracted with everybody else. And then the chair got involved. Now this is why I hated the ending of this match so much. The fact the match had a stupid ending. Angle grabbed, I think Wood grabbed the chair first. And then he was going to use it until Angle blocked it. But then Angle grabbed the chair. I was like, don't use this chair, Angle, because I don't want this match to end silly. It began silly. It's going to end silly if you do use that chair. He did. He used the chair on Wood. Disqualification. Beat up everybody with the chair. Team Wood won. That was not the best way for the match to go down. Like, for Wood's team to win like that, to get eliminations of disqualification, an injury, and 2 quick eliminations, it's just, the way they won, I just didn't like it. And the way, this match should have been an epic main event for Thanksgiving. It just ended up being a silly match. Silly ending. I just didn't like it. The way that people eliminate quickly, the way they were eliminated quickly, with the silly quick eliminations, and of course, Magnus' little injury, it's like this. Man, should have been a lot better. Could have been a lot better. And by the time the match ended, it was like 20 minutes left in the show. It's like, come on, guys. You're not supposed to end early unless you're WWE on a pay-per-view. WWE ended at 10:45, 15 minutes to spare. You guys had your last match end at 10:35. They use that last 15 minutes to hype up next week's Impact, which I hope is better than tonight. A lot more action, like I said earlier. This is match, but the match, it was okay action, but it was just quick action. You know what I mean? You have 2 hours of Impact tonight, and I think every match only lasted about, I think you only had, actually, 30 minutes of wrestling tonight in a 2-hour show. Come on, guys. Come on. 4 matches, 30 minutes of wrestling in 2 hours. That's excluding commercials. That's including commercials. Come on, guys. Step your wrap up next week. We got 2 great matches next week for the semifinals. Last man standing and team match is probably going to make up for the night's Impact now after tonight. So we end with more talking. Our last segment, turkey dinner that Dixie offered for everybody who won their matches tonight. We had, of course, Team Wood, Gail Kim, Tapa, Ethan Carter III left early with Dixie for their little family Thanksgiving. So Rockstar Spud was left to handle the show. Of course, even Ion and Romance were there. And Chris Sabin came with his little girlfriend. I was like, wait a minute. Velvet Sky lost her match. She just there because Sabin's there. Even Rude mentioned it from the get-go. He's like, Sabin, why is she doing here? She's a loser, not a winner. And then Sabin, being his ego self, not caring about anybody but himself, his little ego. Go away, honey. Hit the road, toots. You are a loser. And then with these egos, of course, these heels, we're going about how they are thankful for being themselves. Too bad Gail's husband didn't make the food. Of course, Gail's husband is Robert Irvine. She did thank her family eventually, but didn't thank her husband by name. And there was a character. At least she mentioned her family. At least we all knew who her family was. Her husband, Robert Irvine, a professional chef. This would have been a dinner impossible for him to do. Anyway, when we're on the topic of being thankful, I'll say what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for having a great family, especially my dad, who's my roadie, who helps me out on all my gigs and lets me be me, be DJ. I'm also thankful not only for having a great dad who supports me and loves and really supports what I do and helps me out with my DJ jockeying. I'm also thankful to be a disc jockey and thankful that my DJing career has gone through the roof lately. Thankful I have a great steady job that I enjoy doing. All these wrestlers, they love their job. They love entertaining people. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for having a great job, entertaining people, and seeing them have a great time and be a distraction for at least a few hours to let them be entertained for a few hours and distract them from their everyday lives. So that's what I'm thankful for my great job of being an entertainer. Like these wrestlers, off stage, minus the character, they're all thankful for their jobs and thankful for having great families that support them and are handling them being on the road a lot. Not as much as WWE, but still. Thankful for the families going through all this with them and being supportive of them and their jobs, being away from home a lot and supporting them, living out their dream of entertaining people and wrestling for the world to see. So there you go. That's what I'm thankful for my entertaining job. So back to the segment I have as all the Eagles were hamming it up, applauding themselves. Even Sam was like, I love myself and my hair. Oh, and Velvet too. That's why I said these two are going to pick up very soon. So as they were celebrating, Angle crashed the party. This is the only fun segment besides the Ace and Eights football. Angle's crashing the party, and Wood's like, hey, Angle, you're not supposed to be here. You're a loser. But you know what? I'm going to beat your ass again. And Wood considered his win against Angle a win. I don't call Angle getting disqualified a win. But to Wood, a win's a win. When he passes out during their rematch a few weeks ago, and of course, getting DQ'd tonight, Angle did. For Wood, don't matter how much, doesn't matter how you beat Angle, you beat Angle 3 times. So Angle's like, Wood, I would beat your ass right now if we were alone. But I know you're not alone. You have a team. I got my own backup. So we had all the losers. Eric Young, Full DB, who didn't really lost, but still they were with Angle. Along with Gunner, Storm, I told you they were out together. I mean, not for long, but still, I think they're going to pick up soon enough. But they were standing united with Angle in this case. We saw, of course, we didn't see Magnus because he's sort of injured. And I said to myself, I knew that this was going to come out the way it did. I really knew that this was going to end up being the way it did. It was going to end with a food fight. That's exactly what happened. Angle and his team with Gunner and Storm and ODB and Velvet, Eric Young, they got into it, we beat up on everybody. They ruined the entire dinner to Rockstar Spud's dismay of trying to organize it. And back to Dixie Carter, disappointed by Rockstar Spud for letting this dinner go away. It was even pie in Gail's face, it's like a little food fight. And that was the only fun part. At least Thanksgiving is all about family and food and fun. In a TNA's case, it's all about a fun food fight. Every wrestling Thanksgiving ends in a food fight. It doesn't matter if it's WWE or TNA. And I've always said this on my show. TNA likes ripping off WWE. TNA whipped up WWE by having their own Survivor Series type match tonight. And they also whipped up WWE by having their own food fight to end the Thanksgiving episodes of their shows like WWE did for SmackDown back in the day. When SmackDown was on Thursday. Because SmackDown's always on Thanksgiving Thursday as well, and they always end with a food fight. That's what TNA did. WWE whip off again. So that's how we end Impact with a fun food fight to end this okay Impact next year. I just wish there was more action tonight. You know what I mean? Of 4 matches tonight, those 4 matches only lasted about 30 minutes in a 2-hour show, guys. Come on, this is disappointed by the lack of time for the matches. Lack of matches and lack of wrestling time. That's what I was disappointed about. Lack of wrestling time. So like I said, TNA with 2 great matches next week. The semifinals of the TNA tournament semifinal of the tournament. Storm out, of course. We got Magnuson, Angle, Last Man Standing, Hardy. We didn't see him this week, but we're taking on Wu next week in a tables match. AJ has to give up the belt. So I hope with this, it's a good sign that next week's Impact will have a little less talk and a lot more action indeed. That is it for this Thanksgiving edition Impact review. I'll see you all later with that in mind. You've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. And if you're going out for Black Friday, good luck shopping in the wash. And don't get injured by people pushing and shoving. I'm going to see you on Gentleman on Black Friday. See you later. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. Yeah. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Yeah. Gobble, gobble. Again.